you. It's been a minute we had before we can come together for this dry task. Pretty exciting stuff because in today's experience we'll find out how it is we're going to be in front of students and we can get a better feel that on spot in that pace how we are going to be. So to try to give your best in this, be not afraid of how much time you're taking or where the direction is going. This is a place for us to experiment what we can say and how we say it. The footage will be running so that we can review how we look to ourselves from the outside if you want to make any personal changes. But also it's just for us to also capture certain golden moments where we thought, hey, this way of saying something, this way of approaching something was really nice. So those are the two main reasons we are recording. What is the scope for this dry run? Is when we are approaching these 10th to 12th students, younglings, they are yet to go into a college. At best, they have an idea of what they'll do in college. So these are the kind of people we are approaching, and we are saying, hey, this is a cool thing called design. Have you heard of it? We're trying to test the waters, saying how well are the youth right now aware, and in what way are they aware about design. So we're going to inquire and have it very conversational that way. We're also going to have a moment where we're telling them who we are, because why are they going to listen to us otherwise? They need to have some backstory and lore. I would suggest to avoid CV style explanation, but weave your qualifications through your journey in life. That way, it's going to come across to them that you're sharing your journey, and parts of these, like for example, your psychology, is very integral to you and how you live life. And so weave that into what then finally what Zondi can do for them. So if you want one quick rundown on the scope, who we are, what Zondi is, design and its daughters, life and this world. Tasks that we would have to weave through all of our approaches, exploration and observation, reflection and expression, alignment and excitement. To explain what these mean to me. When I mean exploration and observation, I'm going to give them moments where I'm challenging them to precisely look for detail, precisely understand and see something. If it's something from memory, if it's something in front of them, if it's something that they're searching on, please be very active and conscious about that. Reflection and expression, I'm trying to see how well are they absorbing, what are they absorbing, and from that, what are they saying. There's many things people will absorb but only choose to say a few things. What is the thing that they're focusing on? Finally, alignment and excitement. We are now going beyond what most people do, which is cool, you feel good about something, but what are we gonna do about it? Again, the design by doing aspect of things. So when we are challenging them, saying, hey, you've observed something like this, how do we at that moment tell them what we can make it out of? What can be made out of it? All of us will come in with different perspectives and different ideas of what could be done, and that is our strength. We have overlapping essence, but also very vibrantly distinct outlooks. And so we need to leverage that. That are the three things that we'll need to task them with. In the flow, what the tasks look like is up to you. How you approach life and this world to their context, to what you have to say, is up to you. Cool? Cool? I like standing when I do this, so I'm gonna keep the chair in the corner. If you'd like, you can sit here because you're at the center of the camera now.
Do you want to sit here and use the table for that instead of just holding it the entire time? That's probably gonna get tired.
Works.
If you want to charge the things up in that corner.
Scoot as back as you can. And give you the cat for company. If you'd like to take a second to zone in on an imaginary audience, please do. I'm going to take 20 seconds to just let the silence mark a transition. let's go. If it helps when you want to speak to the audience, look at the camera or look at the wall. If you want any one of us to get a response, look at each other. Cool? Greetings, everybody. My name is Satavahanam. I am a designer, researcher, and I love life. I'm here from Zondi trying to show you guys what design is and how it can really, really help you guys going forward in your life. You're now in a very ripe age. Most of you are like, what, 14, 15? Other than 16-year-olds, sweet 16 already done. What is going on in your life? Like, can you just take a moment to speak how your day is? And I'll ask you to at least tell us in a little detail, what excites you or what is the most dragged, slowest thing about your day. Just so that we get a better feel for how your day is. Because now I'm 23, much older than when I was, but I still have fresh memories of the school. I even studied in the school. So I'm really curious, how's the culture, what's happening, what are you guys talking about, what's the drama. So yeah, complete free reign. You can say whatever, but just keep it civil. Very interesting. It's been a while, some things don't change. So some things never change. But at least like that there's some little new storylines happening. Keeps things interesting. Really will need to hear more about that, but we'll get to that. For you guys, what we have planned today is to explain what design truly is. And so, can you tell me what you know about design? Have you heard it somewhere? Do you know somebody who does it? Have you used something that had design? Wow. Okay, interesting. Some of those things I can see why you'd call it design, but on there's more to it in design than most people let out. Like, say for example, if you look into something like an engineering, we've heard many stories of parents saying, oh, this engineering is the way to go, you'll make the future and all that. I want to ask you all something, that you've heard of IIT coaching and you've seen all this happen. Can you tell me, with the number of engineers that are coming out, do we see better or more engineered things around you? Do you see that? Fair. Every discipline has its place. Everything must have some respect because we see so many people dedicate their life. It's because we have in our journey struggling to see what it is. Does not mean it is not right or it does not have any value. We just haven't seen it in the right view. So, to show you things in a different way, you must have gotten bored hearing just from me. I want to introduce to you my very good friend Srikar. He is also a designer, and I really respect the way he looks at design. And I feel like now's a good time for you to get another face and another voice. So, here you go. I give the mic to Srikar.
Yeah.
You can phone by.
Yeah. Hello, y'all. I'm Srikar. Satya and I have studied in this probably this exact classroom that y'all are sitting in, and funnily enough, this is where design started for me. And yeah, it's good to see y'all also interested in the same path that has given me so much joy. So yeah, a little bit about myself. I am a designer overall. I could call me an industrial designer, visual communication, a product designer, computational designer, parametric designer.
Any design, he's an all design. This is what I mean. This is why Srikar is the best talk about design. He has so many designs.
Yeah, and outside of design as well, you could call me a maker, a photographer, a trek organizer, a traveler, a bike rider, a lot of things. My point here is just that um, design and creativity need not be limited to what you do in this classroom. And I would highly encourage you to, you know, take the sort of mindset that you learn here and really apply it when whatever you do. Just fall in love with everything that you do and see where that takes you. And as for what I will be doing in this course, I will be here to give you my varied skill set, my vast collection of pieces of knowledge that may or may not help you in the things that you're doing, or maybe just send you across on a fun path of thought. And who knows, might be some interesting discussions. We might be, bouncing ideas off of each other. We shall see. But yeah, and I'd like to hand it over to Lavanya, our very cool psychologist.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Lavanya, and I am a psychologist, and I am here today to be able to take you on a journey inward, to be able to see and understand yourself better, to see where you fit in this world, because you are at a stage and a place where you will be hearing things from everyone, from your teachers, from your friends. This career path is good, this stream is better.
So many things.
But I want you to be able to tune into yourself first, to be able to realize who you are. Self awareness is the first step for you to understand where your place will be in this world. And today I will be your guide. I will be helping you through this journey of understanding yourself better through a set of, I don't want to call them assessments, but something which will be a fun journey for us to be able to explore ourselves better, how we think, how we create, what drives us, and much more. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Thank you, Lavanya. Me and Srikar are gonna go crazy about design. Very much. And if you ever feel like, I don't like these people, they're talking too much nonsense, Lavanya is gonna be coming and sitting with you guys, seeing how it is from you. Because for herself as well, she has not trained in design and she's not really gone deep in design like the both of us have. And so, in many regards, she's your best friend that way. She is, as she said, a guide for you to really navigate what this looks like a complex world, but she can attest to you that it is a most beautiful and organic process. So, before we get into all of that, I want to take things a bit serious for a minute before we go deeper. I do not look at you all as if that you are a child, somebody who's infant, who doesn't know better. I truly believe that what you look at in life, what you are trying to do in life, what you understand about life has some truth in it. And I really hope you all also respect that for yourself. Because design can only happen if we are that honest with ourselves and honest about the world that we live in. And if you struggle to respect the space that we have here right now, okay, like if your friend or your benchmate is trying to focus, please, if you have to talk to your friend beside you, just keep it at a very whisper level of a voice. You talk. I know it's very important to share what your thoughts are as it is happening, and so I'm not trying to stop you from that. Just at the very least, write it down if you feel like you going to like you might forget it and you want to be able to talk about it, or if you have to speak right now, just whisper. Just try be considerate. That is all. And when you are speaking, trust me, this is going to be a very safe space. We are not going to judge you in a way where things are going to be held against you or nothing like that. If you're honest about what things you're going through and what you're trying to do, we'll also be honest on where that can go and how you can go about it. And so, in this space, if you can approach with that level of respect, we're going to have a very good time. Very good time. All that being said, design. The history of design is very interesting because Arguably, you can go all the way to caveman time where fire and spears were invented. Because design at the very, very simplest core is that you're trying to do something and you're struggling to do that well or even do that in the first place, and you're trying to do something about it. Design is always about filling that gaps, trying to make things better, trying to actually solve problems. And so design takes many shapes. If you go deep into that one angle, say for example in engineering, you'll have material science. You can totally go into the depths of the texture, the strength of the material, how much load it can carry. Can it can carry an elephant? Can it go into space and not just burst? Material science is one depth of it. But if you step backwards up the chain, it was trying to solve a problem. When you're trying to go put a aircraft in space, you need to be protecting what is inside because space is filled with radiation that is going to cook you like a microwave. So we need to rely on the resources that we have in this world to do those things, explore the cosmos, inhabit new planets, talk to aliens, anything. We'll need to leverage the resources we have access to and do something about it. And that's where design can really help you, and especially something called design thinking. Design thinking is always about just saying, hey, there is a space, there is a world, there is something I'm trying to do. What are all the influencing forces, the pieces, the puzzle pieces that you're trying to solve? And so when you go about who is involved with it, who is trying to do it, who is trying to give it to you, what are you trying to do, what is happening, what you're struggling with, once you consider all of these, you come up with a certain sense, a certain feeling, an idea, a concept of how things should be. That is where your inspiration has come, and now most people think, no, that's it, no, design is done, like, wow, idea ho gaya, concept ban gaya, bana do. No, that is the start of design, because if you think like most things, there is a certain depth to it. And so when you go into the depths of design, now you will understand what we're going to go into. We'll touch on that in a bit, but for now, as I said, the resources in our world, what is happening in this world? Has anybody used AI for your homeworks or just searching for things? Are you using AI? Have you not heard of it? If you haven't heard of it, do you not like internet? What's happening? What's going on? Pretty cool. I see this is how the youth is using AI. I'm sure I can make you guys use it to the next level. The world is changing right before our eyes, and you guys have seen this world change in a subtly different way than I have. I got the chance to see it in a world where technology was not truly fully reliable, that you can replace analog things, things that function within the physics of this world and not some silicon world. We still got a chance to look at that, feel the challenges of still existing in this world. But for you, you've grown up with wireless phones, you've grown up with pretty fast internet where you don't need to wait for the download to happen in 2 days, 3 days, 1 week even. You don't have those kinds of same things. And you've not seen a world where Google Maps doesn't know where to take you. Like, you know exactly how you can reach everywhere. But also, because you're so flooded with information, you're struggling with where can you go, what can you do. You have this thing that, hey, I know I can do something about this, I have an interest, but I don't know where to start. I don't know if this is the right thing for me. I don't know if this is gonna last because AI is changing everything. I get the mess. But if you step back again to see that you just came into this world and there are certain conditions, there are certain context that's already happening. Context basically means the history or the background of that situation, that scenario. If you think about a context in terms of a drama, who are involved, what are they up to, why did they come together, that is the context. If you're trying to think about a context for schooling, for example, you're saying, oh, the context is for getting education, being with your peers, developing your social skills, experimenting different things that you can't do at home. There's different contexts all around, and if you're able to precisely look into those contexts and place yourself also, believe me, you can do wonders. Everything that you are able to imagine, dream of, I certainly believe design can get you there. And design in that regard for me is just an extension of our human force, our ability to say, hey, there's something more advanced possible. I can create greatness. There's some hunger between us, within us, that gets us there. It could be to be a person of a certain quality. It's also to chase after an experience, like you want a concert, you want a girlfriend, you want to be the PM. You have certain drives, you have certain ambitions. Even also getting shawarma with your friend at 7 o'clock because he both have nothing to do and homework is done and there's no cricket match happening. That is also an ambition. Every one of these fuel us with a certain satisfaction, a certain happiness about life. And I hope you also learn to see that even in challenges, impossible situations, difficult, messed up scenarios, you can have equally, if not a little bit more fun there as well. So let's start our first exercise. We've heard a lot so far. I want you all to just look into your life now and say, hey, how is my day usually going? When I think about tomorrow, okay, today is now a Friday, you have a Saturday tomorrow. What is going to happen? What's going to happen in your Saturday? And I don't care about any generic thing that, oh, I'm a student, so Saturdays I have this extra classes, and after that I can have. Now, those are not the details that I'm asking for. When I say you look into your tomorrow and tell me what is happening, I want you to tell me what excites you again. Now that we've shown you that there's a level of depth and observation in life, look back onto that exercise and say, hey, what is happening in my day? What do I want to do? Do you ever feel at certain times when you wake up that I just want to go to a water park? Or do you feel like at certain afternoons, like I want to be Gordon Ramsay and make a pizza right now, homemade pizza? Tell me those things about you that only you can experience, and I know that only you are experiencing. Can you tell me about that? You guys are free to interrupt anytime.
You're just taking it so nicely that I'm like, okay. Flow is nice. The way you drive them is nice.
If at all ever the flow is off or I'm straggling, just signal in some way that I can catch it, because I'm locked into the audience.
You figure out those signals in some time.
So far flow is alright? Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm hearing a lot more stuff. Now I can tell who is who, what does this name have, a personality and interests and all of that. I'm now feeling a lot more connected to you all. And does it feel good to tell those parts about yourself that you never get the chance to? How does it feel? What is it making you feel right now? Do you want to do them? Or are you just feeling at ease that this some important part about me has been spoken into this world? Any feelings like that? Interesting. Alongside observation, right now you must have experienced your life. But have you also noticed another thing? When your friends were telling about their things, have you considered that, oh, he never told me about this, I never thought she wanted to do this or she feels like this? Did any one of you feel like that? Why do you think that is happening? I mean, beyond just saying, hey, like, tell me about things that are not usual, apart from that kind of a question, why do you think it's different? Interesting. I won't disagree, but I feel like maybe that for me, at least our truth I notice in this exchange is that we are using our words, our voice, our brain to somehow explain what it is we are experiencing, seeing in this life to others. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? Okay, interesting. Language, I feel like, is so underrated because alongside fire, alongside the wheel, alongside the spear, language and also to what we understand now, a very formal, a very nicely bounded, explained with rules and frameworks language, is also a huge key for us to be able to work, do things, build things that are only ever seen in our imagination. Let me explain. Caveman, Ooga Booga, okay? This man has just grunted to me one of the most diabolical sentences I've ever heard at 1900 CE. I don't know what he's about. But something made sense, okay? In his grunts, there was some rhythm, there was some, like, oh, familiar, like I know what he's referring to. I just knew that in his grunts, I just know he told me there is a lion at the lake, and if I'm thirsty, I should wait at least a little while to go there, otherwise, I'm gonna die. That's what he just told me with those grunts. I don't know how I understood it. I genuinely have no idea. But I'm gonna be alive because that lion is not gonna kill me, because I didn't think there's gonna be a lion because I'm thirsty. I'm too busy trying to quench my thirst. Where is the water? There's no GPS. Language, in this instance, is taking bud, saying that, hey, can I make certain sounds? Can I make certain gestures? Can I do something with the body that I have to tell this other body around me to do something? And I could have whatever intentions. That's separate. That's a huge separate philosophical thing. We'll get to that another day. But through this language piece, we got a chance to say that, hey, safety can be provided not only through the defenses and our weapons, but also an understanding that there is a certain state of this world. If you boil it down to, that is basically what's happening. And so, if you take it further as things go along, the sounds became more sophisticated, they became more distinct, hard to confuse for one sound to another, like la versus there's one is open mouth and one is closed mouth. There's no way you can think they're the same sound. We've gotten more and more trained, used to, aware of how do we shape sounds and also how do we gest things to be able to communicate. And so that's like, I feel like another level to communication, that these sounds and these messages have now become more sophisticated. But now coming back to all the way to now this point and in next future, we have insane tools around us. We have VR experiences, we have 3D printers, we have AIs, we have video calling, we have iPad sketches and animations. We have so many things that I could endlessly keep listing. But what is the point there? These are all tools for us to communicate at the bare essence, some thought, a thought about the state of the world. Sometimes these outlines of thought are about the past, about something happening right now. Like, say, for example, this building is huge. It didn't suddenly become huge, it has been huge. Then I can also say, oh, I feel kind of hot now. It was always kind of hot, maybe, but maybe now I've warmed up to notice the hot. There's certain communications that are happening. Going to the future, what if I say right now that there's going to be a movie screening happening here right now? There's no screening, there's no projector, there's nothing there. We don't even know what movie, but have you gotten a thought, a visual about this exact space that we share right now? That, oh, whoa, it's going to be dark, it's going to be having a light, and I'm going to be all cozy, it's going to be cold, I'm with my friend, we're having fun, we're excited, a movie comes, it's fun. You're having these pieces bubble up, right? That is the power of thought. That is the power of communication. Because right now, if I put it very simply, I've put a seed inside of you of a potential that this same space can be done beautifully to watch a movie and have beautiful memories. And at the same time, I have power with same communication to do anything. It could be beyond the walls of this space. It could be beyond, within the walls of your mind. It could be everywhere. Our ability to notice this power, wield it, grasp it, understand it, train it, become used to it, really use it, is going to take us to unforeseen places. And regardless of if there is an AI, if there is a robot, if there is something, forget the world. You must understand that you have the power right now to unlock this, to get more familiar with it, to get better at it. It is your journey and you cannot escape it. Do you think now if I told you this thing and like 10 years down the line, you've never put one effort into this? You think you're gonna be better at imagination? You're gonna be better at telling people ideas? You're gonna be better at getting ideas in the first place? No. They only come from you being persistent that this is something that is useful for you in your life. And there are chances all the time in life for you to use it. The more conscious you are about this, the more deliberate you are, you will notice all those thoughts and dreams that you had, they just come. They just come. Call it manifestation, call it perseverance and willpower. I don't care. All those labels, they don't matter. As long as we've reached that world, that state of the world that we believe is amazing, is beautiful. Is there any one of you here right now that really wants to destroy the world? Do we have a Hitler amongst us? Okay, brother, see me after class. I hope all of us have a beautiful vision, mission for this world. Some people want to care better for animals. Some people want to make it easier for their family. Some people want to make it better for their nation. Some people want to make it better for the nature. That's all you. You might do something for nature, but it is you. Again, I emphasize on the you that is doing something for the nature. You are in that world, in that kind of life. And as the sooner you are honest and clear about where you want to go about this life, believe me, you will notice life is conspiring for you to have your best life. Believe me on that. If you see that power alongside you, you don't need me. I'm just gonna keep blabbering. But I'm using this power of communication to share with you all because I know when I was in your state, I wanted to be a doctor, a surgeon or something because I was playing too many surgeon games and I just thought, wow, this is so cool. Like, I'm just cutting open these things and I have to be careful. And after I stitch them back up, people are feeling better. I wanted to make people feel better. But then sometime it just hit me that, oh, books, so many books I'll have to read. I can't just. I mean, all respect to doctors. If your parent is a doctor, tell them I respect them because I couldn't do it. I couldn't read that much, but that's where I was. And then when I found that, okay, if I'm not going to do medicine, I love running. I used to run a lot. Like, I love parkour, I love tag. I'm very competitive in tag. In break time, we can try playing if you guys have energy. I love running, so I thought, okay, maybe I can become an athlete. But then I thought, okay, my stamina is a bit weird, and I don't know if I can only be an athlete. I didn't understand that I could be so many things alongside being an athlete. Yeah. Then I found design, and I found it coming very organically, natural to me, and I just found something clicked for me. Honestly, I can't explain it beyond it clicked. And I just kept trusting it and following it, and it got me to places where I understood this world in a level that I have never been able to before in my life. That power for me. And then to be able to offer things that solve problems for people, I was like, that came out of me? I just felt so proud and I just kept following it. I didn't question it too much. I mean, there were doubts, many doubts. But if I could go back to that position that you are in and tell myself that, hey, like, you have all these interests, do something about it. Like, you have interests. Imagine not having the interest. There's so many people unable to just have an exciting life because they're not excited about life. It's so sad. There are times where people struggle to have access to really exercise their interest. But you have your whole life ahead of you, and if it is truly your interest, you can make your life to come in a way that can let you have that experience. So, in this session at least, we are going to focus only on that. Because only then, if at all you are any bit interested about what design can be, I can do anything with you because you have this core lit up in you, that you have this power to change this world. Do you guys believe, girls, that you can change this world? I still see a lot of you not. Can I ask? And I don't mean to say you have to change the world. Can you tell me why do you think you can't change the world? Honestly, I have no idea what they might say, so I'll leave this blank. So okay, I've spoken a lot before I depart from the stage because I've spoken a lot of my piece, and we can take a break if you need it. Otherwise, we have tons of things that we are going to challenge you with. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want to add anything? Cool. So, break time, eat your fruits, go out, washroom, smack your friend in the butt. I don't know what you guys are up to. Okay, do your thing. You have about 15-20 minutes. Drink water, which is make sure you have some water, be hydrated. And once we come back, we're gonna go a little bit deeper in towards the reality of design and what it gets up to, and some exercises that you can do that you can come close to what it feels like to do design. It's gonna be a very simple scope for today because this is for some of you it's just start, and I don't want to bore the people who are already in their journey with design, but I really want to give you all a fair chance to see design in a very friendly manner. So cool, have fun, enjoy your break. See you soon. Later. Break time. How are you feeling?
The this section was more about
The world. The world.
and making parallels between self-efficacy and sort of felt like we would like a little drawn out. I feel. I don't know if that is how it's going to be when we're getting responses also, but I don't know. Like that's the only thing. It felt a little bit drawn out. If there is some way we can brevity basically, but the points are very valid. The feeling of being able to do something, or the feeling of having that power, I feel that for sure it is going to be very important for the rest of that workshop as well. So it is worth spending time, but again,
It feels drawn out.
yeah.
Cool.
So far that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Pretty much same what he said. We are connecting with you at the moment. You are taking us, we're feeling a soar of energy.
Okay, good.
And, it's good. But sometimes when you're speaking, there are times where I'm suddenly disconnecting and distracting myself and then coming back again because I have to come back. And also sometimes you draw the attention that way as well with the emphasis you put on words, things like that.
So, do you suspect this to be a consequence of just trying to address a group of people, or can it be addressed while you signaling to me that okay, we get the point, or hey, like go into this direction? How do you suppose we minimize this?
One
Yeah.
is sorry, go ahead. Okay, like the students ultimately. I don't know if us telling you this is the right way, because again, it will take some getting used to understand what level the students are at when they're coming into this. So, what if we try to find some way to get that confirmation from them directly? And the questions that you're asking, maybe a little more of those can draw out these pieces
Cool.
of information.
I think in that sense, I'll try to extract the script out of what I just said, find the brevity of it, and if in those times where I'm not able to find brevity, substitute that with a certain discussional angle. so that that same point can be found rather than told.
Yes. But then again, like I still feel when we have actual students and they are answering, the tangents that we go on will be energizing enough for us to not feel this way. So,
Okay, then in that case, very critically, I'll ask, next to all elaborations and tangents that I took with that, was it driving a point to somebody who might have been very unaware about this, or is it out of their depth?
You touched on a lot of general topics, but I'm not sure. I mean, that is maybe my own personal thing. But when I was in 12th, I didn't have any much idea about animation and these kind of things. Maybe it's come up now. This generation might know it better.
That's why we'll need to know their day to day to see what kind of lifestyle they're living.
Plus, I found myself drawing parallels to the things that I felt in the journey that I was able to connect to, and I don't know how, like, viscerally I will feel what you're saying if I had not have gone through that yet.
Okay. So maybe a little bit more stress on the feeling of being submerged in that moment rather than reflecting on the existence of that moment.
As in?
I'm painting the picture of what I'm feeling and going through in that moment versus saying that I went through such kind of moment and then I went here. You see the difference? One is submerged and one is a bird's eye view. Would the bird's eye view work better or with the submerge work better because they're unaware? So when I'm submerged, I'm giving them the pieces.
Submerged is definitely better. But when you get in the flow, you are excited about explaining about design. It's about how are they connecting with that. When you spoke your piece, it helped me because I could connect to the possibilities of design. You know, how the way that you explained it, a person will be interested in a certain, they'll at least think about it, what can be designed. But then when we are ending this piece, I'm not sure what we're going to do after the break here. Are we going right into the seminar again, or we can guide them towards this point now we're going to see whether you are fit for design. I don't know the word.
Got it. I feel you. Done? I will be pulling you guys up more often this time around, so be ready. Welcome back. So, all refreshed, bowels empty, hydrated, gappe marna gapped, all good? Cool. We spoke about a lot of stuff just now, and it's cool. I'm just trying to get you guys in the mode of things, feel kind of serious about life because life is worth feeling serious about. So let's get down to a little bit of business. This world, in a very villainous fashion, cares only what you can do for it. Genuinely. If you can sing well, and people know you sing well, when people want somebody to sing well, they'll call you to sing well. Plain and simple. When somebody wants you to build a house, if you know where to get the materials and if you know the people to put those bricks together and cement it up, paint it well, they'll tell you to do that and then get it done. So in those ways, both good and bad, life, world, cares only what you can do for it. So then think that, okay, what can I do is one question. And there's another angle which is what must be done. Right now we'll have you go through a very interesting exercise which can give you a startup idea, it can give you a personal project, or at the very least it'll feel good that you can understand how to solve some problem. Thinking about your day, right? Pick something that you wanted to do. Maybe, like the movie thing that I don't, anything that you pick. Tell me, you have now about 10 minutes to just write about around it, that what you will need for it, what you're going to do in it, and when you do it well, what does it look like, what will happen. Just do this much. Cool. Now, Srikar and Lavanya, will be coming and sitting in each of your desks and just reviewing it. I will be observing, adding pressure from a distance, but they will come and just observe what you are writing. They know what I'm looking for and they will help you try and get it. So just invite them, be nice to them, they're here to help. Here now you are just seeing that are they like actually writing well, or they just put one basic as name. Okay, so try and bring those details and insights out. I'll give you a sample of how those look like, but just try to make them express much more in detail and depth, such that we can build upon it, those pieces. We shouldn't tell them what should be there, just compel them, nudge them towards inquiring and outlining those things. If they miss something about materials, make them do that. If they miss something about services, do that. If they miss something about outcomes and possible feelings, nudge them. Now I want you all to exchange sheets. You will give it to the partner behind you, to the diagonal. I don't care, it's chaos. Does not matter who you give it to, you just give it to somebody that you are not. As in, give it to somebody that you are not. Give it to somebody who you are not. I'm sorry, you get the point. Now, all of you have a challenge. Reading this, try and make a paragraph, a pitch, a commercial, or just telling your friend, hey, this cool thing. Just figure out what this person has said, it has some value, and put it in your own spin. You are free to be as creative or as formal as you wish. Just write. If you want lines, I need a minimum line, 10 lines. If you want to go more, go more. If you can only make 4 lines, but those 4 lines are good, make 4 lines. But tell me, what is the sense in the page that you see in front of you? This is testing them to both interpretation and imagination.
There is one question like that in the aptitude test.
Beautiful.
Whether to make a page, whether a visual impaired device,
Mhm.
some problem like
Right.
that.
But this could be also like planning a get together. That's completely within acceptable things. Or it could also be like, I need to get fucking 10 in my CBSEs, I need to get 1500 in SAT. What is the way?
I see this building in mind. At least this way that will help them understand what to do better in the test.
Yeah.
When that comes to them, at least now they know that I have to pitch or I have to make a visual or something like that. That will make them and
Right. And this at the best is trying to give them a chance to describe things, plain and simple. From that habit, it's going to lead to more things. So, cool. Now you have all these little ideas. I'm going to ask like a handful of you to come up and then present it. But the person who wrote is not presenting. Now you have to shift your pages once again. Give it to somebody who the paper did not originally belong to. So somebody new. Chaos. Okay, you. No, you. Come up. Nah, I need you. I definitely need you. I'm curious. You've been very loud this whole time. Let's see what you can say now. Come. तू भी आ गया? Cool. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that is a funny idea. Who wrote this? What is going through in your life? Oh man, you need help. We are here for you. Whatever. Banters aside. You see how both fun, interesting it is, and also challenging. This person that you received the paper from initially before you wrote the paragraph, you had bare understanding ki like, what is this man thinking? What do they want? You had a moment where you struggled. That is an inefficiency in capturing that thought, in capturing that idea. Now when you wrote this thing and you saw somebody else speak it, did they say it in the same intensity and vibe that you thought about it? No. That also means that you've not embedded little subtle clues that give a reader that same emotion, that same feeling of that same word. This is the power of communication, and this is also where sometimes things get lost in translation. On that note, the next game. Have you heard of Chinese Whisper? Yeah, you must have played it in your Independence Day celebration or annual day. We're doing it again. But this time, we're going to be very interesting. There's two groups, okay? One group are going to be speaking. Another group is going to be gesturing. There are now a few chits that's just are random ideas, okay? It could be angry, it could be making spaghetti, it could be anything. You don't know. Depending on your group, you have to take that chit, give that message to the person ahead of you. Now you might think, sir, the gesture people are kind of easy. They can just make that action and then just do it. Sure. But that's why there's a time limit. The group that is able to finish that line quickest wins. What do you win? Find out. You'll find out. But to make things a little bit more challenging, I like a little bit of drama, a little bit of spice. The people who are whispering, right? They cannot use any original words in that chit, or they cannot use anything that just says like, oh, what is the byproduct of putting a tire and a suspension together? That's not a way to come to car. Think about more different ways. Think about, say, journey. Think about, say, I don't care. Just don't say directly the like the sum of something, the parts of something. Try and approach it in very unique perspective. That is the challenge for word. The gestures people already have enough of a challenge. Don't stress them out. Let them be. Cool. Full. This round, both of you shared the same exact sentence. So let me hear from the Bakra. What did you hear? Something godforsaken. Huh. What was actually told? Aha. You see? You see the difference? Okay, now let's see the gesture person. You both had the same word. Show me. Some fucked up ass dance. Some fucked up ass dance, okay? He's trying to combine multiple different things that he heard from people in a scramble, trying to remember and tell the other person. It's a mess. Interesting. These are not the same. That is not the same. You see how things can just get lost in translation. And that is why it's very important to have a good grasp over language. Language is not only just about English, Telugu, Hindi, or voice. It can also be as simple as the sketches that you made, the sentences that you wrote, the gestures that you made, the expressions, everything. Language is everywhere.
Yes, it's getting done today. I mean, like
He's here in how much time?
4:20.
I don't know what's the time.
3:50.
Wow, okay. Cool. Now, I want to take a minute to speak about what could happen. In Zone D, we made something called an X-Dad. Sounds cool, right? It's like the X-Men. We are going to recruit mutants. We're going to recruit special abled, special powers, special creators, special brains that are amongst you. All you need to do is very simple. We'll be giving you a questionnaire. Just honestly answer it as best as you can. It's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be difficult. Answer is the best you can. It's okay. But do read the questions properly. Read into the meaning. Read into what it's meaning for you. Read into what it's making you think. Just answer honestly. What are we going to do from that? We have a internal understanding of what a designer is And so when we see your qualities, right, this is made by a very powerful psychologist. So trust it. I trust it. Just answer it. We're going to take that and compare it to say, hey, this kind of a person, what kind of a designer, or what kind of a career, or what kind of life can they have? We'll try to first figure out that. Once we have some understanding about who you are, okay, we'll call you up and say, hey, we're ready to speak about you. Do you want to know more about you? You can bring your parents, you can come alone, it's your wish. We're going to speak to you a bit about then what you are, what makes you, what you deal with, what you struggle with, and what's your strength. From there, we'll have a conversation about what this kind of a person can do in the world that we have right now and in the future. And to reach that future, what kind of a things would you have to do? Some of those things you are going to do with us only, so you can trust it's going to be fun. Has this been fun? But also some of those things you're going to have to do by yourself at all times in life. That is who you are at a core. To explain this better, to explain the process, I will invite our psychologist, Lavanya Jha.
So, you all heard the gist of what the XStat is about. And as he put it, it's as simple as, he makes it sound. You'll be given a set of a questionnaire, and each question has two options. I want you to read both of the options carefully and choose the one which feels most like you. You might not say, you might just say, this is not me at all. But I want you to read them both carefully and see whether you're able to relate to which statement a bit more than the other. And just take that and keep on flowing with that. That'll give me an understanding and a mapping of how you think, or how you create, or what drives you, things of that sort. So, and if you have any questions regarding what the question is like, what is the meaning of it, I'm always here. We have both of them present as well. We are there to guide you through it. Just answer it honestly to yourself, instinctively, which comes to you first. Go for that.
All right, everybody. It was a fun time. We could do a lot more, but we are running short of time. It was so much fun talking to you all. I lost track of time. I'm so sorry. But I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something that you either already knew but needed a reminder for, or needed a little bit more confidence with, or you found out something that really is new to you and now you're going to explore it. I'm very, very curious where you're going to go lead in life. And so you can reach me on Jarada, or you can come pop in at Zone D and spend some time with us. This is where you can find us. But as a closing thought, I really want to drive a little bit more focus back to design. We spoke a lot about language, we spoke about world, we spoke about what productivity is, what communication is, we spoke about many things. But a little bit more about design. Design can take shapes at this day and age: physical design, digital design. In digital design, you have multiple angles that are like graphic design and or website design, where you're going to design all these experiences and little visuals and interactions for any digital sense. It's on your screen, you're looking at the colors, the shapes, the buttons, the interactions, all of that. That is one side of design. There's another side that is the physical, that is your interior design. You're designing how this space should exist and flow with the person living in that room. When you think about product design, you're thinking about, hey, this physical box bounded thing does a certain function, it has a certain power. How will people hold it? How will people find it? How will people buy it? How will people look at it, use it? All of that is product design. Industrial design is going to go take it to the next level, saying that how do we make this product so easily available to everybody anywhere, and it makes perfect business sense to be able to handle the cost. The industrial design has got you there. It's all about the industrial productions and manufacturings of things. There's your print design, where you're talking about magazines, your standees, your vinyls. Any of all these designs are just focuses within the parent design. I could speak 10 hours about design right now, but I just wanted to give you a clue on what kind of designs you can look out for, and just do your own reading, honestly. Like, it doesn't hurt to know that this kind of thing exists. If you find something that you think you can do, come to us. We're going to talk more about that. If you find something that's interesting and just were like, oh, I want to understand how one part of it works, we can still teach you about that. We have programs that will make you a fully versed, capable, equipped with all skill sets professional in that field. Or we have our little workshops that just go into specific skill sets. You will still share those classrooms with some of your peers if at all, there's a cameo or a crossover episode. But our whole job here at Zondi is just trying to make design, you learning, experiencing, and excelling at design more accessible. There are many people out there in this market right now that are selling design as purely just the skill set, saying, oh, सॉफ्टवेयर में ये बटन ये करता है और ये बटन इस तमे में ये होता है और वो बना के ये फॉर्मेट में होता है. That's all they teach you in those coachings. If you go for a more sketching oriented thing, they will only speak to you about just the shape, the qualities, the lines, and all that. They are not useless, but that is not all that makes you a designer. As you've understood by now, the mind, the thought, the soul of who the designer is matters just as much as what function and shaping they can do, through their skills. With mindset, training, and conditioning, even without certain skill sets, you will still be able to do. Why? Because what you are making is not only useful for you, people like you are going to be benefited out of it. And so you will find collaborators willing to extend their skill set in something that they have mastered and you possibly have not done to the same level. You can leverage their availability, their interest, their skills to do this job. So just explore what design looks like from the outside in. But when you come to Zondi, you will experience design inside out. Anybody? Really?
Yeah, he covers everything.
I'll see you guys next time.